All right, today's assignment, you'll be working on Lesson 19 in TCI and Geography Alive on the physical and human geography of Europe and Russia. You should have read from the introduction to Section 7, and in each one of those sections, for example, you do read and make sure that you do the reading check at the bottom. When you're finished with that, you are going to go to Challenge 2. Challenge 2, I want to remind you that you are going to be using the following thematic maps: political, and then you just hit the radio button: physical, climate, economic, population, and vegetation. What we'll start out with is there are 10 questions down at the bottom. It says use the maps to answer the questions. For each question, write the answer and record the thematic map that you used. So when it says maps, we may use one or all 5 of those maps up above. Granted, we're always going to use the political map, so we don't have to write that in, but physical features, climate, economic, population, and vegetation, we're going to have to write that in the column where it says maps used. So let's take a look at the first one. What 2 climate zones are most common above 70 degrees north, and what countries lie in this zone? Please pay attention that some of these are 2-parters. This is the first part, and here's the second part. Let's do the first part first. So which 2 climate zones are most common above 70 degrees north latitude? So we're going to go up. That's pretty easy. It's climate, so we're going to click on climate. Now, please pay attention. There are 2 maps. There's the Europe map and there's the Russia map. So let's take a look. Here is 70 degrees north on this line here. Right here. And then there's also 70 degrees north right here. Okay, so we've got that. So we've got this country here up at the top. You might have to toggle back and forth between political and climate. You toggle back and forth, you can see that the climate up above here is purple and a light purple, darker purple and light purple. Same thing with 70 degrees north. North of that 70 degrees north line, it's right in here. And there is some white, which is ice cap, but for the most part, the 2 main colors are this light purple, which is subarctic, and tundra. So that will be our answer. So we're going to write down here, we're going to write tundra and subarctic. Make sure you spell subarctic correct. I'll hit a semicolon, I'm going to hit return, and then which countries lie in this zone? Well, to figure that out, that's where we're going to be toggling back and forth. And we find out that this one here is Norway, up at the top, north of 70 degrees north. Some kids think it's Finland, but Finland just kind of ends at that 70 degrees north. So it's Norway, and then over here, well, that's Russia, that huge country, the largest country in the world by land size. So those will be our answers. Norway, make sure you use a capital N, and Russia. And then don't forget, we have to figure out what maps did we use. Well, we just used one map in this case, so we're going to write climate. And we're all finished with that. So you have 9 more questions to do. Make sure that you do this after you do the reading and the reading check. And don't forget, the further you go down, they're going to get a little bit more difficult for each time. These are due tomorrow, unless you work hard in class and I get a good report. Then I'll extend it to Thursday. But otherwise, if it's not so good, we're going to do it on Wednesday. We'll correct it in class when I get back. Talk to you later. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Ugh. How to get out of